Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. We're doing rankings again. Let's just start us off with the full top 25. I've got Flomo, new number 1 in here. A lot of changes at the bottom. A lot of stuff going on. Some risers, some fallers. But let's go to our honorable mentions, which we've got some familiar faces in here at the honorable mentions. Byrnes, American Fork, Dobyns Bennett, all repeats. Some of them, in the case of Byrnes and Dobyns Bennett, have been here since week 1. Castle, I do have them dropping out. We had some impressive performances from Wando and Seven Lakes. We'll get to that eventually. I guess it's some spoilers for the upcoming. You've already seen the list. And then Wakeland. Let's just talk about that Dallas event. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. What was going on with the scoring? We had so much discrepancy between prelims and finals. I don't know where to rank any of the bands from 6 to 3. You know, we had Coppell, Prosper, Wakeland, and Waxahachie all flip-flop around from prelims to finals. I believe Coppell finished 6th in prelims and then magically finished 3rd. Very, very close between them, Wakeland, and Prosper. I could easily have Prosper in here and the honorable mention, and, you know, I would not be surprised if they worked their way up even into the top 25 list after San Antonio and other events as we get through the season. But right now, this is just what I've got. Wakeland ended up winning in finals, so I am going to give them the nod over Prosper, but again, thought very long and hard about having Prosper on this list. I do have Castle dropping. I know this is kind of like one of the biggest discrepancies between my list and the Horn Rank list is Castle and also Jennison, but Jennison's not on this list. Castle's not on this list. Castle's in the honorable mentions. I just think that in order for me to put Castle on the list, I would have to have Brownsburg an honorable mention. And I don't think that Brownsburg would lose to any of these, or Brownsburg would beat any of these shows head to head. But right now, I mean, we've seen Castle perform, we've seen Wando perform, and I think I prefer Wando. Obviously, the bias in me, but I'm just giving my opinion, man. Let's move on to 25 to 21. Coppell is our biggest faller of the week, other than, I guess you could say, Bridgeland, Sci-Fair. I mean, Bridgeland dropped out of the honorable mentions. Sci-Fair dropped off the list. So I guess we do have some fallers. But Coppell, huge faller this week. Got 6th place at prelims, 3rd place at finals. We already talked through it. And I know, Coppell usually starts the season slow, eases in. You know, we saw this almost the exact same story play out last year, and they still got like a 93 in San Antonio finals. I think it was like a 92-5. So, could that happen again? I mean, yes, 100% that could happen again. I wouldn't be too surprised. But I can't, in good faith, have them that high when they got 6th place in prelims, right? I don't know. It's a ranking system. It's not going to be perfect, but in my head, I am thinking about prelims and finals as 2 separate runs, and if you're getting 6th place in prelims, you're losing to bands that are unranked on the list. I can't have you very high. Wando won Conway by 4 points, won prelims by 6 points. Hey, play the clip. I told you guys this would happen. The people on the Horn Rank forums were having some hot takes on how this would go with Wando and Catawba Ridge. I think Catawba Ridge is great. I think they're a good program. I would be very surprised to see Catawba Ridge win this comp, but Wando's still about it. Like, Wando hasn't fallen off. They're still at that good level. I think they're going to win this event pretty comfortably, personally. The other predictors on Horn Rank thought this would be a close competition between Wando and Catawba Ridge. And I told you guys, I let you guys know in my predictions video that this would be a handle win that Wando would win that competition handily, and they did. I was sweating after seeing Catawba Ridge. I was pretty impressed, but no, Wando got it done. They had the highest score of the entire season for like a couple hours until the Dallas event ended. But yeah, overall, good stuff. Their show is still pretty dirty. Visual ensemble. There's a lot of stuff to happen there. But they're gonna get it sorted. Great stuff. And I know the score is inflated, right? If they were at the Dallas event, would they have scored with an 85.7 or whatever they scored? No, they would have gotten probably 83, 83.5. That's probably what I'm thinking. But again, there's a lot of room to grow with the show. And this is a Nats year, so they're going to be putting in that extra work and getting it done. Bentonville, haven't had a comp. Cedar Ridge, haven't had a comp. And when I say haven't had a comp, I mean haven't had a BOA comp. I had added that into the graphic just because people were a little bit confused on the TikTok and the Instagram. Seven Lakes, second place at BOA Houston, won music. This is what the hype was about. When Horn Rank had them in the top 15 or wherever they were, I think they were 17. This is what that was about. I was not familiar with that game. I know they made finals at San Antonio. I was not familiar with that game. I did not think that was going to be repeatable, and it looks like it is. I would not be surprised if they're top 10 at San Antonio, even take another step. Yeah, they're up in the rankings for me. And yeah, they look great. Going from 20 to 16, Leander didn't have a comp. Westlake didn't have a comp. Moe Gene Johnson didn't have a comp. Dripping Springs didn't have a comp. And then Pearland. Pearland, another big riser. I think they only rise like 3 spots. I made the Woat move, guys. Woat being worst of all time. I had Pearland losing to Sci-Fair. I got fooled. Thinking that winning a comp against Bridgeland, winning music against the Woodlands would mean that they would be beating Pearland. No, they got like 8th place. I am the Woat. Predictions, I was just gloating. Now I gotta take the L. Horrible prediction. I am sorry. But yeah, Pearland proved me wrong. Made me look like the fool that I am. And they got first place, swept, made it look easy. They did not sweep. They swept prelims. They lost music to Seven Lakes. But prelim scores, they won by like 3 points. Real close in finals, but I don't know. They look good. Their forms looked sharper than Seven Lakes and the other bands that were there. And they do have some room to grow as well. So, pretty exciting. And then now, pretty much the rest of the list, no one had a comp. So, like, no comps here, no comps here. Like, I'm not sure what I could really talk about here. I mean, there's no movement from 15 all the way up to our new number 1 Flower Mound. This was really surprising to me. And even, like, watching prelims, I was like, I don't know. Like, I did think that Flomo was probably going to take GE, but Hebron looked like, I think Flomo's show is probably harder. At least visually, for sure, it's harder. But I was very surprised to see a sweep. But, I mean, that is what it is. Hebron still look great. Their music is still ridiculous. Their show is still pretty fun. It does break like the cardinal sin for me for shows where they have props covering up forms. At points in the opener, I'm not a fan of that. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves. Still looked good. I just don't think that this is going to be like the dominant year that I thought it could have been when I first saw the Hebron show. But still, it's going to be a fun show. And they could still put up a massive fight at San Antonio and at States. You know, the last time Hebron dropped this competition to Flomo was 2021, was pinstriped, so it's not over yet. But just saying, honestly, maybe losing BOA Dallas is like the best base to win San Antonio, right? Like since 2021, 2 out of the 4 years, the band that lost BOA Dallas won San Antonio. So maybe that's the best base, but that's probably the Hebron fan in me coping. Flower Mound is our new number one. Looked great. And the scary thing is, there's so much room to grow in to that show. It just feels like every performer is buying in. Which I was having a conversation with one of my friends the other day about this. Really, the biggest thing that separates DCI from BOA is not like, I mean, is very clearly balance in music, clarification, technique, you know, all of that. But the biggest thing, even past all of that, is buy-in. Because when you see like bad discrepancies in like horn angles and like visual moments where you have to be reaching all the way over like this, you can't even see me on camera, but you have to be reaching for something, that extra 20% is a huge difference for all the judges on the field. And you see that with Flomo. I think that could have been the difference between this competition. I know that's kind of like a brain dead take, but it's true. Like, you see that with Flomo. Everybody's bought in, everybody believes, and everybody's giving it their all, right? So, really impressive stuff with Flomo. Their show is pretty fire as well, just saying. And yeah, I mean, great stuff. They are probably the front runner to win Grand Nats this year. I know it's tough to say that so early when the Indiana bands and Broken Arrow are all going, but how could you not after seeing that performance? Personally, that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. You guys think I'm dumb, which I always end the, why do I always end the video with if you guys think I'm dumb? No, you guys think I'm a genius. No, I'm not delusional. I know I can have some dumb takes at times, including my predictions. My predictions are pretty dumb, typically. I've actually been having a terrible year prediction-wise, but it is what it is. Can't win them all. Can't win even 50% of them, it seems like. But, yeah, that'll be it for me. See you guys.